joining us. Welcome. Good looking group today, as usual. Let's go ahead and get started. Did I wait till your mouth was full?
I got the last piece of that sweet pie. let me explain. Some of you said he's gone forever. Well, he's not. He's like a bad penny. He just shows up again. Contrary, I did not have the virus. I did fall on asphalt trying to find a golf ball. Bruised my hip. So I learned, hopefully I've learned two lessons. You cannot wear golf shoes on asphalt. And second, if you lose the ball, let it go. You got it. Let's see.
Oh, say, can you see why the downs early high? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, Christmas lamps and bright stars through the perilous night. For the grand was we walked, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flare of a bursting in air came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nathan has our prayer.
Let's pray. Lord Jesus, we love you so much, and we give you thanks and praise for your Son. We celebrate you as we prepare for Christmas. Lord, we thank you for Rotary. Thank you for WRC, this food. Thank you for all the different organizations that we've been able to support this year. And we pray, God, that you would empower them to do good in our community. Lord, I especially pray for our nation, for a spirit of unity, justice, and truth, for all those who are in leadership, that you would help them to do what's right, even if it's uncomfortable. And I pray that you would help us to follow you and to live for you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Family of Rotary. Very good.
Thank you very much, President Sheila. Good morning, everybody. This is probably out of order as far as politics and protocol, but unfortunately, I've been out of order most of my life, and I'll just apologize up front. But tonight, I'd love to see everybody back here, because something very important is going to happen at 5:30. And if you can make it, please make sure you do and bring somebody with you. Our sheriff, Donald, is going to do his kickoff tonight, and Donald has faithfully served Houston County in one capacity or another for over 43 years. And I think we ought to give him a round of applause just for that service. And I will say this, just moving around the state and having the opportunity to get to know a lot of different sheriffs over the years, he has been one of the most dedicated people that I've ever met, and one of the most available and the most sincere people that I've ever met. And he's the kind of man that we need to continue the legacy of Sheriff of Houston County. So if I'm out of order charging for that, I'll pay it. All right, young birthdays today. Ed Malone, December the 6th. We've got a pair on the 11th, Mr. Sam Casey and Ryland Everett. And on the 12th, Dr. Michael Freak, brand new member to our club, and Joseph Johnson on the December the 12th. for some odd reason, nobody wanted to get married at this time, so we have no anniversary. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you tonight here at 5:30. Thank you.
Thank you. Introduction of guests, Missy Rotarian, Stan.
All right, looks like we got three here with us today. If you would stand when I call your name. Tom Sorrells, guest Sheila. Darby Jackson, the club, and Blake Hurst, the guest of Greg Hendricks. Are there any others we might have missed? Thank you all for coming.
Rosemary, you want to come on? I'll make your announcement so you can get back.
Looking at gifts. Thank y'all, everybody, for bringing your gifts today. I want to remind you that next week is Monday is the Senior Citizens Luncheon, and don't forget it's at the National Peanut Festival. It starts at 11:30, and if you can come and help, we need help getting the people in the building to their seats, and we'll serve their food. But if you could be there by 11, it'd be great. You know, they'll probably start showing up at 10 o'clock though, but if anybody can help, we would love it. But it's the Alpha Building at the National Peanut Festival. Tuesday through Friday, we're doing Ringing of the Bells. The sign up, I still need people to sign up. It's going around. We start at 10 o'clock and we go till 6, and it is at Hobby Lobby. And if you have any questions, call me.
Thank you, Rosemary. And that list is going around from table to table. So if you haven't signed up and you would like to, the list is being passed around. So once your table finishes with it, pass it on to the next table, please. All right, Campasco, Lawrence. $2,301 points.
Little red.
All right, the last four. Mike, did you have your ticket ready? Sorry, couldn't resist. 6530. 6530. Greg.
Ooh, it's getting slim down there. There's a. That's right. Ace of spades.
Four of spades. Sorry.
How many are that?
Walter Hill wants to make an announcement too. He found his way up.
Real quick, there's flyers on your table, but we are doing our Dine Out Dothan raffle for Wiregrass United Way. It's been very successful. This is our 4th year. The drawing is next Friday at 2:30 on our Facebook Live. The first ticket drawn will win $1,500 in restaurant gift cards. The next two will win at least $500 in restaurant gift cards, probably a little more, at least for the second place, because our board members are still getting gift cards donated. But they're $10 each, and I have plenty here, and all proceeds benefit Wiregrass United Way.
James, are you ready for your announcement?
Yeah.
It'll be a nice day on December the 29th. Is that right? December 31st. Aren't there some Alabama fans here? December 31st? All right. I enjoyed that game, Sarah. I don't know about y'all. There's people on my table was not there decided that I was. But yeah, I'm reporting for the nominating committee for 2022-23 nominees for our office of president, president-elect, and vice president. This was composed of the 5 most recent past presidents. And if you're here today, please stand. This is the nominees from the nominating committee. For president, Greg Hendricks. For president-elect, Josh Chapman. Vice President, Rick Reichert. And here's the 6 nominees for 3 of our directors will be rolling off this year, 3 director positions. You please stand also. Adam Hall, Trey Michael, Art Morris, Jason Rudd, Terry Stansel, and Donna Tomlin. Thank you. You may be seated. These will be also announced again next week and also on the 20th, and then our election will be on the 20th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James, and thank you for being willing to serve. Greg, would you come forward, and Jason and your wife, Darby, would you come forward, please?
Hello, my privilege today to introduce to you guys Jason Jackson. And if my technology does not let me down, we'll be okay. Jason is originally from Hartford, Alabama. A lot of good people come from Geneva County. He is in the field, has been in the field of physical therapy for 30 years. Worked at Flowers Hospital for over 20 years. Studied physical therapy at Wallace College, the University of Alabama for healthcare management, and is currently working on his MBA at UAB. Opened Health Actions Physical Therapy in Dothan in 2017 and has grown to 3 locations in Dothan and 1 in Enterprise. He is the District 2 Chairman of the Alabama Physical Therapy Association and Government Affairs Committee, married to Darby, who's also a physical therapist, keeping it in the family. 3 kids, and they're neat. Toby, Tucker, and Keegan. All right. Attends Wiregrass Church, enjoys outdoor activities and spending time with family. I give you Jason Jackson.
Okay, and we're really excited to have you, Jason. And Paul Lee is Jason's sponsor. He brought to the club. He attended the new member orientation with Jason, but Paul is sick today. And so Greg, as president-elect, wanted to introduce him to us. And it's our duty, as you know, to add new members, to increase our influence in the community and doing good things and serving others. And so we're glad to have Jason, and we believe that you, Jason, will represent our club well and that you will contribute to the club and to this community. And so we're thankful to have you join. It is an honor and privilege to be a Rotarian, and you will be welcome in this, not only in this club, but in any Rotary organization that if you're traveling, that you choose to visit, they will welcome you in there as well. It's a worldwide organization. So with all those good things, though, there's some responsibilities that come along with it. So you're expected to serve when you're asked to serve, to attend the meetings, and to put your talents to use in the club. So on behalf of our club, we do welcome you. I'm going to give you this badge, which you will wear. The badge you wear during the meetings, there's a slot for you in those spaces at the entrance, and that you'll wear it when you come in, pick it up, and you'll leave it when you go back out. And there is the 4-way chest plaque and also our pin, lapel pin. So thank you and welcome, and I'm glad you could be here with us. Josh is next, and he is going to perform his duty of drawing for programs.
All right, the much anticipated time of program selection. We're gonna draw 7 dates today that fall between February 14th and April 18th. So we will get going. For February 14th, happy Valentine's Day. Margaret Futch. All right, February 28th, we have someone lined up for the 21st, so we're gonna skip that day. February 28th is Carlos Lee. Okay. Mr. Arthur Gardner. March 7th. Cal Whaley. All right, March 28th. Paul Angeloff. April 4th. Archie Solomon. April 11th. Tim McCraney. And April 18th. Keith McAnulty. All right, that's it. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Josh. We had a little bit of a long list today, but I have one more thing that I'm honored to do before we introduce our speaker, and that is a multiple Paul Harris Fellow recipient. Paul Harris Fellow recognition has been a way of honoring our Rotary Foundation supporters for many years. It's a proud tradition that honors the memory of our past founder and international president, Paul Harris. To be honored as Paul Harris Fellow, someone must contribute at least $1,000 to our foundation's annual trust, our Polio Plus, our improved foundation grant. Contributions can be used to honor others, and becoming a Paul Harris Fellow itself is a tremendous accomplishment, but this person has Paul Harris Fellow +5. So Dale and Bruce McNeil, would you please come forward? So much good begins with these gifts. Wells are constructed, children are vaccinated, senior citizens are provided meals and services, children and adults are educated and given professional opportunities. And this service is vital to these children and to these families and the communities that benefit, because it helps meet their very basic needs. So I'm extremely pleased to recognize Bruce, our district governor, and our district governor-elect is going to pin him with that recognition pin. And we appreciate Bruce. Bruce does a lot. He does a lot for our club, has a history of doing a lot for our club and for our community and for Rotary and Rotary International. So thank you, Bruce, for all you do for us and everyone else that you serve. Did you want to make any comments, Dale?
He's just been on the road a lot. He's visited, how many, 50, almost all 50 clubs?
47 right now.
He's visited 47 clubs. I mean, that's actually going there, sitting down, having lunch, or going to events they're having. So he's representing our Dothan Rotary Club great, but also representing our district wonderfully. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you both. Let's give Thank you. All right, Kelly has our introduction of our guests today.
I have the pleasure and I am extremely honored to introduce these two to you. First, I'd like to introduce Sergeant Maggie Lavornia. She is from Dothan, Alabama, and graduated from Dothan High School in 2017. She has been in the Alabama Army National Guard for 5 years. She received a Bachelor of Social Work from Troy University and will have a Master of Social Work from Troy University come December 15th. So congratulations on that. She loves helping others and being engaged within the community. In her free time, she loves to watch sports, go to the lake with family and friends, and travel anytime she has the chance. And she said, by the way, quote, "I am a diehard Auburn fan, so War Eagle." War Eagle to you too. Sergeant Lavornia has a passion for helping others find resources to accomplish their goals. She said she looks forward to speaking with our club today about the Army National Guard and all of the awesome things that it has to offer. I'd also like to introduce Staff Sergeant Alan Bullock. Sergeant Bullock is from Slocum, Alabama, so we've got two homegrown folks here, and graduated from Slocum High School in 2004. He has been in the military for a total of 17 years, 8 years active duty and 9 years in the National Guard. He is currently a recruiter for the Alabama Army National Guard in the Ozark and Dothan area. He is married to Lana Henry Bullock, and they have one son, Jackson. Jackson attends G.W. Long Elementary in Skipperville. Sergeant Bullock enjoys being involved with Houston County area and helping coach his son's football team. In his spare time, he enjoys hunting and working on their farm in Ashford. This one's a little harder to read. He is also a die-hard fan of the University of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
And NASCAR. I do have to admit, after this weekend, I was almost saying those two little dirty words myself, because anybody that can put away Georgia, I'm a big fan of. So, sorry, Georgia fans, I know y'all are good folks. But he's also a fan of NASCAR. He and his family love being outdoors and camping every chance they get. He loves being able to speak to young adults about the benefits of the Guard and how we can help them achieve the goals that they have in mind. So please welcome Sergeant Maggie Lavornia and Staff Sergeant Alan Bullock.
All right, so I checked beforehand. I'm not much of a microphone person. Can everybody hear me? Everybody in the back? Okay. I'm a wanderer too, so I had to make sure I wasn't getting in trouble for that, because I walk around a lot whenever I talk. I get in trouble in my classrooms a lot about it too. So, but as stated, my name is Sergeant Bullock, okay, and I'm with the Alabama Army National Guard. I'm actually a recruiter, and I recruit in Ozark and Dothan. I've been recruiting somewhere around about 3 years now, so I stay kind of new to it, but with all my experience in the military, I kind of think I have a little bit of knowledge about the military, okay? I would say this: I have 8 years of active duty service that I went into, was stationed at Fort Drum, New York to begin with, which everybody calls the armpit of the military. Okay, it's negative 26 degrees the day I got off the plane, and I'm from Slocum, Alabama. I was not about that life. Okay, I called my mom crying at 22 years old and said I had done messed up. And then from there I went to Fort Benning, Georgia. I was with 3rd Brigade on Kelly Hill. I got 3 deployments. I got two to Iraq and 1 to Kuwait. And every deployment was great. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. But after my active duty time, I decided to join the Alabama Army National Guard. And by far, best choice I ever made. I got out of active duty and decided I was going to go work in the civilian sector. And I got a job at Georgia Pacific. Anybody know where that is? Right over the Georgia line, Cedar Springs. Okay. Couldn't really turn down the job. My son was about to be born, and they told me I had 2 places to go, and that was Alaska, and I wasn't going anywhere else cold. And the other one was in Korea. Okay, and I wanted to see my son be born. So I got out, went over, worked at Georgia Pacific, got back, like I said, into the Guard. And from there, I got asked to become a recruiter. And at first I said, absolutely not. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Don't want to have anything about going to the schools and talking to the kids. That just wasn't, I didn't think that was me. But they offered me a pretty sweet deal. They said, come do it for a year. We're going to pay you. We're going to send you all the schools and we're going to teach you how to become a recruiter for the National Guard. If you don't like it after a year, you can go back to your job. No commitment whatsoever. I said, absolutely, I'm on board. Okay. About 2 months into it, I walked up to my boss and I said, where do I need to sign up to do this full time? Because after about 2 months of talking to people, I ended up loving it. And it's changed my life. It's changed my family's life so much that, I mean, I can't see myself doing anything else. They say I've got like 3 or 4 years till I can retire, but my son's only 9, so I'll probably wait until he turns 18. So I got a little while longer. And I will probably stay in recruiting the rest of the time. I have no need to get out, don't want to go anywhere else, just stay in recruiting. But they wanted me to come here and talk to you guys about, I guess, the benefits of the National Guard. So does anybody know the one thing when you talk about the National Guard and getting the National Guard, what's the one thing that everybody says we're going to give you? Education. There you go. I like it. Okay. Education. We're going to pay for your college. Okay. What a lot of people don't realize is that you can go active duty. And I don't knock active duty. I love some of the experiences that I got on active duty. I will cherish and I'll remember them forever. Okay. But what we try to tell everybody is that active duty is kind of like the civilian world in a way. Okay. They're going more toward promotions where you need to have civilian education, some college education before you can get promoted past a certain rank. So for instance, when you go on active duty, you're working a full-time job. Wake up about 5 o'clock in the morning. You go do PT about 5:30 and you're off when they tell you you're off. Okay. There's no punching the clock. There's no, honey, I'll be home at 5, because you don't know what time you're going to get home. Sometimes you get home at 5. Sometimes you don't get home until 9. And then active duty also tells them, says, well, you can go to college on active duty. And you can. I've seen people do it. But it's a lot harder working a full-time job and going to college full-time as well. Okay. On average, you can look at active duty. It takes somebody about 8 to 10 years to get a 4-year degree. Okay. So what the National Guard does, we step in and we say, hey, we're a little bit better. All right. And that's the way I like to think about it. All right. We're a little bit better. All right. Because I tell all my kids, I say, look, I don't care what you do for 28 days out of the month, as long as you don't go to jail, do drugs, and be a decent human being. Right. I don't care what you do for 28 days. You can go work full time, or you can go to college and be a full-time student. And the kicker to that is that the Alabama Army National Guard is going to let you go to any colleges you're choosing in the state of Alabama, and we're going to pay 100% of it. 100% of it. Okay. Going a little bit back toward the active duty is federally funded. That's it. Federally funded. So you're going to get about $4,000, and you can kind of see it up there. And if you guys want to print it off, or I can email it to whoever. You're going to get about $4,000 per year, capped out at $250 per semester to go to college. All right. That's just federal funding. Every branch gets that. Coast Guard, Army, Navy, Marines, everybody gets that. National Guard, Air Guard, everybody gets that federal tuition assistance. Okay. But the National Guard is state funded as well. So we're federal and state. So on top of that federal tuition assistance, because $4,000 a year is not going to pay for the University of Alabama, right? It's not going to pay for it. Okay. So on top of that, what we offer is an additional $16,662 per year to go to college full time, to be a full-time college student. Okay. And all that we really ask of you, maybe not you guys, but your kids, or some of you guys, we put 40, anybody 40 years or younger, call me. I can help you out. And we already, he's already got some time in. We can go ahead and put him right in, right? 40 years or younger. But with that, 2 days out of the month, that's what we ask. A Saturday and a Sunday. Okay. So 1 week in a month, and then 2 weeks out of the year. Okay. 2 weeks out of the year, you're going to go do what we call summer camp. For some of my summer camps with the Guard, I've been to Romania. I went to Costa Rica one time. Sometimes we just go to Panama City, or not Panama City, but not Panama City. I was thinking spring break. My bad. Spring break 03. Pensacola, Eglin Air Force Base. Everybody knows where that is, right? Sometimes we'll just go down there, okay? Or sometimes in North Alabama, up around Fort McClellan or Anniston, okay? And it's for 2 weeks, and you get active duty pay while you're there. So your kids are off, they're getting active duty pay for those 2 weeks during the summer when they're not in school. And then they go to drill 1 weekend a month, a Saturday and a Sunday. Normally you get to drill probably about, I don't know, what time do y'all get to drill? 7? About 7 o'clock in the morning, okay? And you're gonna work till about 4:30, 5 o'clock. And you make a couple $100 over those 2 days. Our high schoolers now bring home, they come in bottom level, E1, they're gonna make somewhere in the neighborhood of about $200 to $250 for 2 days work while they're in high school, okay? I talked to a lot of them, like, what do you bring home from at the trampoline park? They're like, oh, I bring home, you know, a month, $500 a month working at trampoline park. And like, well, come work for me for 2 days and I'll give you 250. Okay, so it's not that bad. And while they're in high school, they're committed to high school and high school only. They drill with us 1 weekend a month in Dothan, and they are committed to high school. They go to basic training after they graduate high school if they're a senior. If they're a junior and they get in at 17 years old, like what I did, you go to basic in between your junior and your senior year. Okay, once you complete basic and you're a junior, they have a thing now. They didn't have it when I went to school, but dual enrollment. Everybody know what that is with their kids or whatever. So, you know, sometimes you got to pay for that dual enrollment, but once they've completed basic, they can use our funding to pay for their dual enrollment as well. So they're knocking out college classes. Okay. So 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks out of the year. And that's it. That's all we really ask of them. Well, the one big question we get asked is, well, is my son or my daughter going to deploy? Okay. I cannot, I'm one of those honest recruiters. I can't tell you you're not going to deploy. Okay. I will say that deployments are dwindling down. Okay. I know of 2 units right now in the state of Alabama. And well, one just got back in Enterprise. Everybody see when they came back. There's another unit gone. They're coming back. And I know there's nobody else in the chute to go. So I'm not going to say don't worry about it, but there is a chance that you could deploy if something kicked off, you know, later on down the road. Okay. But the National Guard has been used a lot recently for one thing. It's kind of made a lot of headline news. The coronavirus, right? We've had all of our nurses and our doctors going around from town to town, giving out shots, and they've been going to the schools actually too here recently, showing people how to disinfect stuff and stuff like that. So the Guard is used for the state to help the state. Okay, obviously they can be called up for other activities as well. So my main goal here is just to tell you guys a little bit about us, because a lot of people don't know. We go talk to your kids all the time in school and tell them about all this and how they can go to college for free, but it never really makes it home, right? I could probably say maybe one of you guys, 2 of you guys, your kids would come home and told you that we came and talked to them. Other than that, it really doesn't ever make it home, and the kids just kind of forget about it. But we wanted to let you guys know that we are here and what we do offer. And it's not bad. I love it. I've met a lot of great people throughout the state of Alabama. I tell everybody all the time, there's not probably a town I could go in the state of Alabama where I couldn't call somebody if I needed something, just because I've met that many people within the state and being in the Guard. So it's a privilege for me to be here and talk to you guys. I loved it. The food's great. I don't know if I can come every week or what, but I mean, it's not too many times we get free meals to come to this. I was told I was coming to talk to like 4 or 5 people from Sergeant Lavornia, and I show up and there's 100 people in here. So, I'm just kidding. But Sergeant Lavornia is going to come up here. Funny story, right before I became a recruiter, she was actually in what you call my platoon in the 186 right here at the engineer company in Dothan. And boy, she got on my nerves. She got on my nerves. But I'm gonna tell you, she has come out to be one of the top soldiers that I've ever had, and soon to become a recruiter. We're hoping, right? She goes to school in January, so hopefully she'll be coming on recruiting with us. Has been vital to a lot of things. You guys see us out at events. We got National Guard stuff put up. Last one we did was a fair. She was responsible for getting all the equipment out there and you know, packing it up and unpacking it and turning everything on and stuff like that. So hopefully she's going to come along and become a great recruiter, which I have no doubt she will. But she's going to come up here. She actually went to Troy and used all these college benefits and give her, you know, I guess her her way of, the way it went for her at college and how it helped her out and stuff like that. So, but I appreciate you guys having us. And go ahead.
Hey everyone, I'm Maggie. I'm Sergeant Lavornia, but Maggie's a whole lot easier than that. But yes, basically just adding on what Sergeant Bullock was saying. I am gonna be a recruiter one day, not there yet, so everything I tell you is not a lie. I did. So, one thing about the Alabama National Guard is everybody comes back home. You come back to, Dothan, is where I'm from, went to basic, went to AIT, came back home. And so as a recruiter, they can't really lie because if they lie to these kids, they're coming back home to it. So everything that he said is so true. A little bit about myself. I did graduate from Dothan High in 2017. Raised by a single mom, didn't have a way out. As far as college goes, I did not want to be in college debt up to my neck. So I didn't even know what the Alabama National Guard was. And I was telling Miss Melanie Hill and Miss Kelly, that's the main thing about our community. Not a lot of kids know what the Alabama National Guard is. All they hear is Army. Heck no, I'm not going to shoot weapons and blow up people. And I'm like, no, simmer down. That's not what it is. So as even if it can't benefit you or your family, I feel like if we come together as a community and help these kids and provide them with the information that the Guard has to offer, not all kids are knowledgeable of what it has. So if we come together, work together and reach out to them to get them a way out, I think it would be super beneficial, especially females. That's been my target in high schools right now because we have an old man like Sergeant Bullock that goes into school and the females don't want to have anything to do with them. So that's been my focus. I want females to know that if I can do it, they can do it. You don't have to even be athletic. As long as you can hit a target, you'll be just fine. And so it does, as long as you're a Guards member, it pays for tuition and books. Like for myself, I graduated from Dothan High, went to basic training in AIT. And because I did dual enrollment, I didn't get behind going to basic training in AIT. And like Sergeant Bullock was saying, if these guys do split ops, when they come back, they'll be able to get full tuition and books at Wallace or wherever they do their dual enrollment. And they can be ahead of the game, so when they go their senior year to training, they're not delayed. And like I said, as long as you're a Guards member, it will pay tuition and books. I'm at Troy and I have paid nothing for school. And that's, I graduate December 15th and I've actually made money by being in the Guard. Not only do they pay, tuition and books, but it gives you, which you can't see on this little screen, but I think I made right under $1,000 a month just for going the 2 days that Sergeant Bullock was talking about. On top of that, I was a waitress, so working 20 hours a week and then getting Guards pay, I was able to, pay for rent, pay for electricity, all that type of things. So it's not a bad gig. And so like I said, if we can all just come together, I feel like everybody in this organization is super involved. So spreading the word and getting it out to the kids who don't know what the Guard is, I think will make a tremendous impact. Thank you, guys.
Okay. I don't want to hold you guys up because I know everybody's ready to go back to work, right? So, but is there any questions that we can answer or anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
In your talk, you mentioned National Guard and then you mentioned Air National Guard. What's the difference?
Okay, so the Air National Guard is like a component. So the Army National Guard is a component of the Army. The Air National Guard is a component of the Air Force. Now, the only major difference between the Air National Guard and the Army National Guard, education-wise, is the Air National Guard doesn't qualify for federal and state tuition. Does that make sense? So we get that $4,000. Everybody gets that $4,000. But the Air National Guard doesn't qualify for the $16,662 yearly that they give on top of it. Does that make sense? That's the only major difference. Now, they still go to drill 1 week in a month, 2 weeks out of the year. They still get retirement on top of it and all that kind of stuff. They still got to go to training. but the Air National Guard is just a subcomponent, a part-time job of the Air Force. Does that make sense? Anything else?
What's the time commitment for students who sign up?
Okay, so if you're a junior in high school, okay? If you're a junior in high school and you turn 17 while you're in your junior year, you have to sign what we call a 6x2 contract, okay? So that's 6 years of time that you're gonna come to drill, 1 week in a month for 6 years. The 2 is what we call inactive reserve, okay? Inactive reserve is when you get done with those 6, for 2 years, they can call you back if, like, let's say World War III breaks out or something crazy like that, they can call you back. So as a junior, 6x2. Now, let's say, you know, Brandon Hurst right here decides he's gonna finish out his time. He wants to get back in the National Guard.
He would be a good recruit.
I think he would be. I think he would be. So, but say he wants to get back in, he can sign up for a minimal of 1 year. Just because he has that extra time. Yeah. So 1 year, but you know, say you're a senior in high school, they can sign up for a minimum of 3 years, but you don't get the full education benefits. So there's kicker, you know, most people we have come in sign the 6x2 contract. Okay. Now some people I steer away from it, okay? Because you got to pass an ASVAB, the test to get in. And the higher score you get, you might get a bonus,
So
a sign-on bonus.
might be out.
What? Yes, yeah, he's probably not gonna get a bonus. Yeah, no, yeah. We have no MOSs with trash cans. So maybe KP duty or something like that. But you know, your score dictates if you can get a bonus and stuff like that. So I tell people, like, you know, say they got in the lower score, didn't qualify for a bonus, I'm gonna say, hey, sign up for the minimal amount of years you can, and then wait, re-up and get that the re-up bonus.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Any other questions?
How do you work with students that are in ROTC?
In ROTC in high school, or okay, so ROTC, if they're in ROTC, it's funny. I just put a kid in that was in ROTC at Carroll High School in Ozark. If you have 3 years, now it has to be not three classes in 1 year or anything. It has to be 3 separate years of ROTC in high school, whether it be Air Force, Navy ROTC, or Army. You can come into the Alabama Army National Guard as an E3. So you're not starting at the bottom no more. All right, you come in as an E3, and you go to basic as an E3. I can't promote you any higher than an E3 for basic training, unless you have a bachelor's degree. Then we can get you E4. But we do work with ROTC. Every recruiter, so I know Dothan has a ROTC, and I think it's Sergeant Taylor that works with them, right? Sergeant Taylor works with Dothan High School in their ROTC program. So we work hand in hand with them, and we try to get them promoted based off of it. Now, somebody doesn't get into ROTC. I wasn't into ROTC whenever I went to high school. Slocum didn't even offer it. But when I went to basic, I came in as an E1. By the time I went to basic, I was already an E3, okay? Because there's things that they can do their junior year or their senior year to get promoted, okay? Say they refer somebody. They refer somebody to get in the National Guard. We put them in as the referral basis, they get promoted off of it, okay? Time and grade, time and service gets you promoted. You can take certain tests and get promoted. On top of that, if they referred somebody, if that person that they referred goes up to Montgomery and they get in, they get a check in the mail for $500 for referring somebody to get into the National Guard. So within 10 to 14 business days, they get a check in the mail for $500 as well. They didn't have that when you were in?
No.
So. I do. So my schools, I'm actually more in Ozark than I am in Dothan. So everybody know where Ayrton is? Pretty small, right? One little stoplight town. I love that town though. Okay, so that's my school. I go there every day. I go to GW Long out in Skipperville every single day. Every school within Team 8, because we're Team 8, the tri-state area, is on the Alabama side, gets visited almost every single day. You know, the Houston counties, the Ashfords, all of them, they all get visited. Okay, I even go to my elementary school. I always tell them, you know, if I'm the first contact, then I'm going to get a contract. Okay, that's what I tell them. So at 8 years old, I'm trying to talk them into getting in the National Guard. And we also now what we do is Guard 2 is we've all become certified substitute teachers. So, which is crazy if you ask him, like, he's over here laughing because I do substitute at all my high schools as well. One, because they said when coronavirus came around, they said, well, you guys aren't allowed in the schools no more. We don't want you to spread the coronavirus. I said, all right, well, how do we get in the schools? You got to be a teacher. You got to have a badge, right? So I was like, cool. I went and became a certified substitute teacher, and they gave me a badge. And I was like, now you can't stop me. So, and now the kids have to listen to me for an hour in class about the National Guard. They can't really do anything about it.
I have a question to start. Is it your goal to move up into a commission?
Yes, sir. So actually, with my master's, I have to wait 18 months to take a licensed clinical exam. But then once when I grade, then I pass it. After 18 months, I can direct commission. I could go ahead and commission now if I went to OCS. But I think I'm just gonna try to do the enlisted side because I want to N6 and then get experience on both sides. So in 18 months, I hope to be a both. We'll see.
All right, we got two questions. One here first, and then I'll come to you. Yes, sir.
I got a comment.
Okay.
And I would say this for people sitting in the room with grandchildren or children. This is a real deal because my son and two of his friends, when they were juniors in high school in Enterprise, very patriotic kids. They were all in the Boy Scouts and they wanted to do their service and they did the early enlistment. And fast forward to a son now that's almost 40 that works in pardons and parole for the state of Alabama. And two of the other gentlemen, who you may know, Lee Medley, Colonel Medley.
Yep, I know Colonel Medley.
He stayed in and became a colonel. And DJ Grantham, who also stayed in. And but it worked out perfect. It's a great deal. My son was not real sure that he wanted to go to college right then, but said I will, and did, and graduated and did well. But encourage these kids. This is one heck of a fine deal. And my question part is, who is at Rehoboth? Because my housekeeper's daughter is a senior, and we've talked. She and I have talked quite a bit about her getting into the military.
Okay.
She's doing dual enrollment in nursing at Wallace College, making extremely high grades, and has won Student of the Month several times. This would be so perfect for her because she's not ready to just completely move off, but she could, I think she could see her way through something like
Yeah,
this.
so Rehoboth is Staff Sergeant Hitchcock. And if you'll give it me right after this, I can actually give you his contact information. And you can pass along to her or you can contact him yourself. And he comes out to the school. You know, a lot of people think with us as recruiters, we only meet with them at the school.
Right.
90% of the people I meet with, I go to their house and meet with them. Okay. Because mama always wants to sit at the kitchen table and interview me. Okay. And get to know me.
And her mom would be glad to come.
Right. I will definitely get you in contact.
I wanted to add on one more thing. I don't know if you mentioned this, but it also pays for trade schools. So if an individual does not really like the school mindset, it pays for all of the trade schools at all the community colleges or Fortis.
Yep.
So, and they'll still receive the same monthly allowance for being a full-time student.
Yes, sir.
This has to do pretty much with the choice of employment. My son chose to go to Germany. He was taken in, he immediately went through basic training and then to Germany. So he spent 2 years in Germany.
Yes, sir.
That was by choice. And so he had that choice. He said, I don't want to be anywhere in the States. I've been in the States. I want to go.
Yeah.
And so he went to Germany for 2 years.
Yes, sir.
So that's an option, I suppose, still now.
To go to Germany?
No, to any place.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can volunteer for deployments and to go anywhere, even in National Guard. We have people that go to Romania. They rotate out every 6 months in Romania. And I went there. That's the most beautiful country I've ever been to. By far my favorite place to ever go. And I tell them in recruiting all the time, if 186 ever goes again, I'm gonna get out of recruiting for a year, go with them to Romania, and then come back into recruiting because I loved it there. It was some of the best food I've ever had too. So any other questions? I was told we have 5 minutes left. Anything else? All right, well, if you guys want any more information, we'll hang around. And like I said, I'll get you his contact information for you. And if you guys know anybody, send them our way. And, I tell them information is free. I can't charge you to give you information. But once I give it to you, I'm going to ask you if you want to get in or not. And I'm pretty blunt about that. So, but I appreciate you guys and your time. Thank you all.
We have a board meeting today. I would ask that board members should stay in this building. We're not gonna meet up in the admin building. We'll probably meet in there where Rosemary is, where you got your gifts. And Stacy, thank you for being the greeter today. We appreciate our guests being here and hope you'll come back. Remember, next week, we will not meet here. We'll be at the Peanut Festival in the Alpha Building for the Senior Citizens Lunch, and they look forward to that. I'm looking forward to it also. Hope to see you there. All right, let's do our four-way test. Of all the things that we think, say, and do,
Is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
thanks for being here. Have a good week.
See you in there, good.